This is the 3 p.m. Takeover, Radio Northern Beach's only drive-home show.
Keep it right here for a whole hour of fresh hits and entertainment for your Wednesday afternoon.
Here we go.
This is You Only Get What You Give by New Radicals.
This is the 3 p.m. Takeover with Hope and Victoria. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We hope you had an excellent week last week and enjoyed that first song, which is a bit of a old school pump up.
It's such a kickback to old times. I can't even remember when that song came out.
I know. Were we alive? I don't know how. I could not even tell you what decade that song came out in.
It's sort of one of those ones where you could place it anywhere from maybe early 90s to early 2000s.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I feel like it was late 90s.
Really? Because in my mind, I'm like, that could have come out in the 80s. I don't know.
Could have come out in like the 20s.
Actually, probably not. Because at the end, they're listing all those things.
Yeah.
I think if we really wanted to be like Sherlock about it, we could listen and really pinpoint the year. But I don't care that much. Let's move on with the show.
Okay.
So the last 2 and a bit weeks have been all-encompassing for me in one incredible thing that happens every 4 years. It is the Olympics. Do you love the Olympics as much as I love the Olympics?
I do, and I'm always surprised how much you love them because you hate sport.
But it's not, for me, it's not about the sport. It's about like the sportsmanship. And it's the Eurovision of sports, and I think that's why I like it. It's so nice, like some amazing, I don't want to say last minute medals, but
yeah,
I guess in all the things that we didn't think Australia was going to get medals, we got a few surprising ones, and we always do really well in the swimming, and we did incredibly well this year, and it always makes me like London. Slightly patriotic and like a little bit misty-eyed when I'm always like, oh, they're on the podium, that's the national anthem. Like,
yeah, it is always pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although I heard like a really bad rumor about medals the other day. I heard that Usain Bolt is going to get one of his medals from Beijing taken away.
What for?
It seems that
they had to catch him first, but
that's true. In the relay, apparently they've just found out from like frozen blood samples from back then that one of his relay members was doping, so they might be stripping all of them of the medal.
That sucks.
Imagine finding out 9 years after you won a medal that you were going to get stripped of it. I mean, how pointless.
But he just got the 3 for 3.
Not anymore.
I was misty-eyed for him. I was like, Usain. I have like, I think the world has like a soft spot for him.
That is something that I like about the Olympics, when there are certain athletes that everybody supports regardless of their country. Like, nobody cares where he's from. Everybody wants him to win. I love the cute little friendship on the track between him and the Canadian runner, Andre Degrassi. Cool. They are so cute together, and how like every now and then, I know it's based on times, but like every other race, that their lanes are further and further apart. And I just have this like internal joke with myself that like the Olympics are trying to separate them so they don't like naughty kids in a class talking to each other. Like can't be next to each other.
Yeah, just put some more people between them so they don't talk during the race.
That's true. You know what's strange about this Olympics? It's been such a great Olympics for so many things. Like, we had the refugee team, and there's been so much inclusion. There's been so many positive steps for women in this Olympics. But at the same time, it's also had such negative connotations culturally as well. Like, all the fans that were laughing at the French athlete so much that he cried in the athletics.
What? I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, all the Brazilians were laughing at I think he was a high jumper maybe. A French guy. And he was crying on the podium from all their booing.
Oh, why? And there's been some him?
I don't know, they don't like France, but there's been some weird bad stuff going on as well. It's been such a mixed bag, this Olympics. It's crazy.
Oh. Well, I have been like blocking out the hate and soaking up the love. They're all
That's
so
such a great saying. I
was watching the pole vaulting over the weekend and like late last week, and because it's such a small like pool of athletes for that kind of sport, they're all so nice to each other. Like I think the Greek pole vaulter was going up to her to do her turn, and the USA girl was like getting the crowd warmed up and like cheering her on. And I was like, this is like the sweetest thing. Like, where else, maybe except somewhere like Eurovision, do you find countries so supportive of each other even when they're competing against each other?
What's weird is sport is often like that, and it's strange. From my own experience as a sport, I do a winter sport, not a summer sport, but regardless, I find that although you wouldn't imagine it, sport itself is a very small world. And from going overseas and competing in different things, you quickly do actually get to know other people in other countries really, really well, because you'll see them at events like every year for years. So you kind of do get used to the same people, I suppose, which is really nice.
It's weird. I can't imagine it being a small amount of people because it seems like such a big thing.
Yeah.
So it's because I have heard from in other sports, because like I know someone who's a sister of a friend was in one of the relay teams, and they were saying that like, you know, they'll go to all the competitions and they'll see the same relay teams.
Yeah, always.
And they're all really lovely and kind. I'm like, that's insane because there's like 4 times more people in relay teams. Like,
yeah,
I can't even imagine. And all the swimmers will know each other and they're like, it's lovely, but
it's
I can't.
Really nice.
My brain can't like quantify it. I'm like,
That's really
that's
true.
not possible. It's people in different countries.
But anyway, if you have a favourite Olympics moment, we want to hear about it. So write on our Facebook page, facebook.com/the3pm takeover, and tell us your very, very favourite moment of this year's Olympics. You're with Hope and Victoria on Radio Northern Beaches, and this is the 3pm takeover. And that was a really cool song, actually. That's a Bastille cover of Moulin Rouge.
We need to lock Bastille up until they've covered every modern song.
Or just every song generally.
Because their covers are always just like otherworldly.
Covers of songs are often better than actual songs.
It depends how they do it. When people cover it exactly the same, it's kind of, it can go either way. But when they cover it in their own style, like Bastille have such a certain style.
It's such a nice thing. I have something to discuss or just to mention.
Are you sure? Because I could discuss Bastille for like the full hour if we wanted to. I could easily do it.
Bastille special. We could do that. We could do that. But
don't tempt me.
I went to a school reunion yesterday, which is slightly terrifying. And
I'm assuming it was primary school because...
No, it was high school.
Okay, but it wasn't our high school one because if it was, that's awkward. I didn't get the memo.
No, so it was a different high school that I went to. And it was really strange because for a lot of those people, there were a pile of them that I hadn't seen for 7 years. And
a lot can happen in 7 years.
A lot can happen. But what I found to be the weirdest thing was conversing with someone that you know like the back of your hand as a child and then speaking to them as an adult is so fascinating and so strange.
Because of like how they, I guess, turned out in a way.
Yeah, because like I know how people have turned out and like I know what people have done, but it's...
Thanks, Facebook.
It's odd to have I guess like an adult conversation with someone that you've only ever associated childhood with.
Yeah, that would be really strange.
It's really odd.
Do you want to know a fun scientific fact about like 7 years and knowing people?
Yes.
It basically takes 7 years for your body to regenerate every cell in your body. So technically all those people you saw were completely new people.
How odd.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
Isn't that cool?
That's really, really cool. And some people are most people are kind of exactly how I could imagine them
like turning out,
I suppose. But I just still couldn't get past that concept that they were adults now, even though I'm an adult as well. It's just like, it's the weirdest possible thing ever.
I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know if I'd ever want to have like a primary school reunion. That would be like almost too much, I think.
But that was like me yesterday because a lot of these people...
Oh, because you would have been through primary school with them.
Well, the majority of them, we started preschool together when we were 2.
Oh, that's so uncomfortable.
It was
so weird.
So strange.
Even a high school reunion, I think when I first graduated high school, I'd be like, oh, you know, it'll be so great to see everyone again. But now I'm like, everyone is going to be so different 5 years later. Like,
yeah, it's so stressful.
I work in the city and every now and then I'll actually run into someone I know and it is really, really odd. And even if it's only been, 5 years this year.
Yeah.
Well, I ran into people last year and I was still like, this is so strange. Like, they're so different and so the same.
Yeah, because even if you're not particularly close to people at school, it's still that relationship that you've seen them every day for, you know, X amount of years. And for the people that I saw yesterday, I saw them every single day for 13 years.
Oh my gosh.
And then to have not seen them for half that period and then see them again, it's odd and it's like almost tapping into something that should be left in the past. Even though I have no bad memories with any of them, it almost felt like digging up something that should be history.
Yeah.
It was so weird. Yeah. My head is still so confused. I think that 5 and 10 year reunions are probably a little bit awkward in that way in 10 years because some people will be married, some people might have children. But I think once you hit 20 and 30 and 40 years, I think it is probably a lot better. Anyway, so strange.
If you guys have any amazing or strange feelings and thoughts and stories about high school or primary school reunions, please let us know because I feel a bit weirded out and I want to make sure it's not just me.
No, I'm so weirded out. It'll take me a while to recover.
We'll catch you after this. Welcome back to the 3pm Takeover. That was Grizzly Bear by Angus and Julia Stone. They were Northern Beaches kids, were they not?
They were. Yeah. And I don't understand, you know, when some people make music and they give it titles that don't line up at all with the song.
Yeah,
they often do things like that. Why is it called Grizzly Bear?
But it is, as much as I don't want it to be because I like the cold weather, spring has almost sprung.
It has.
We are close to the start of September, and spring is lovely because it's got like cute little lambs and other baby animals and flowers. And
I don't particularly like the beginning of spring because everything's very damp because it will often rain a lot in September. But I like
spring is the wettest season, I believe, in Australia.
Yeah, but I like that sort of that feeling that everything's becoming fresh again. People almost seem to like wake up a bit more, and I actually really quite like that. I like that transition period between winter and summer, but I like autumn as well. I like those transitional times. They're really, really nice. But I found out some spring facts from around the world, and they are so weird, and I don't even know what. You're going to be amazed.
Lay them on me. I love a good fact, weird or otherwise.
Countries have some really strange things that they do, and I can't think of anything strange we do in Australia, really. But that could be just because I'm from here.
I was just saying, it might just because it's like, it's your normal.
No, you'll hear some of those things and you'll be like, that's nobody's normal. Okay. What are you doing? Okay. So in Poland, they throw handmade mazanas into the rivers and streams to signal the end of winter. And mazanas are little dolls.
Oh, is Poland the country that had that weird Christmas thing where they'd hit people?
No, that was like Latvia or somewhere.
Okay,
kind of
cool.
near Poland, but not
you
quite
remember
Poland.
the weird story I'm thinking of?
Yeah, they hit people with brooms.
Yes. Yeah. Cool.
No.
Okay.
No, I know the one. So the little Polish dolls are paraded through the streets, and there's lots of crowds. Everybody comes out to watch, and then they're taken to the start of the river, and then they're put into the river and tossed in there to symbolise the end of winter's wrath, and then they float away.
Oh, that's weird.
I know.
I don't know if I have words for that.
Like oddly spiritual in a weird way. No, I know what you mean. This is kind of really creepy. In Switzerland, crowds gather together and they reduce a snowman to ashes as part of like a festival to symbolise the end of the snow.
Oh,
That's very blunt.
That's very barbaric. Burn him.
Burn him at springtime.
Frosty's going down.
But yeah, so they often stuff the inside of the snowman with explosives.
Oh gosh, okay. I was gonna say snow would just melt. It wouldn't like turn to ash. It wouldn't carbonate.
Well, here's the thing. If it explodes within 6 to 10 minutes, that means that you're going to have a really nice dry summer. And after 10 minutes means that there's going to be a rainy, wet summer.
Oh, that's just like the weird groundhog thing the Americans do.
But anyway,
it's the Swiss groundhog.
That's what they do in Switzerland. In India, people have bonfires and parties at the end of Holi, which is the season at the end of like the seasonal period from winter to spring, and everyone gathers on the streets and they have a big colour fight. So they got lots of dye and they throw it at each other.
The Holi Colour Festival. Yeah, I actually want to go to that. I wanted to until I heard that for a couple of years they weren't using like safe dyes. They were quite toxic and people were getting sick. Yeah, because there wasn't any regulations, but it's now fairly regulated. I'd love to. Some of the photos that come out of that are beautiful. It's like the Colour Run here, if anyone's seen the Colour Run photos where they throw the powdered fabric dye.
Okay, back to spring in the Netherlands. I think this is really, really cool. Floats are constructed out of flowers and they have a big 12-hour parade that travels from
12 hours?
The south end. Yeah, from the south to the north in the Netherlands. And it's one of the country's most anticipated events every single year. And they also have like an entire parade construction of hyacinths and tulips and daffodils and spring flowers, like end of winter kind of flowers that are still, in bloom. And the route that it takes is almost 40 kilometres and everybody lines up to watch all the fragrant floats go past.
That sucks if you have hay fever.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be the worst 12 hours of... I guess it wouldn't go through your city. It wouldn't do like circuits of your city for 12 hours, but... Wow, that would smell so nice.
Can you imagine? The smell would just stay around.
It'd be lovely.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
And in Bosnia, I think this is probably the weirdest one, but I would be down for it. In Bosnia, they have the Festival of Scrambled Eggs.
Okay.
Every spring.
That is not at all where I thought that sentence was going to go.
But guess why? I think this is really cool because the focus is...
eggs are like new life?
Yeah, the focus is on the eggs, so the symbol of new life as the new spring season starts. And a mass amount of scrambled eggs are cooked in like hundreds of pots. They get them all out on the street and then everybody has free scrambled eggs and people come from like all around the country.
That's so cute.
It's quite cool, isn't it? I like that.
And like free breakfast.
Always a bonus.
I'm always a fan of free food.
if it's a free breakfast.
That's really cute. That's nice. That's got a nice symbolism to it. Do you reckon they do like tailor-made if you're like, can you put some like a bit more cheese or a bit more of this into it? Or they're just like a generic huge vat of plain scrambled eggs and they're like, just enjoy it.
Just take it and be grateful.
Be grateful for the new life.
In Japan, they have the cherry blossoms, which are obviously so well known. People travel to Japan from all over the world at the beginning of spring to see the fairy blossoms, the cherry blossoms, and of course the tradition is to host parties sitting underneath the trees, and that's been going on for centuries.
There's a cherry blossom tree up my street, and
fun.
It blooms every year, and it's really beautiful. It'll just I can't imagine, like, it's so incredible. It's just one tree. I can't imagine, like, a whole field of them. You know what I mean?
A whole country of them.
I've seen photos and they look incredible. I'd love to be there at that time of year. That's probably on, like, my bucket list to go to the
really
Cherry
cool.
Blossom Festival.
And of course, our very last favourite is Australia in spring. So every year, nearly 500,000 people go to Canberra for Floriade. Is just
we have that thing, don't we?
So much fun. I've not been to Floriade since I was a child. Biggest flower festival in the Southern Hemisphere. Who knew?
Yeah.
That was so fascinating.
Those are fun spring facts. Thank you for those.
It's really interesting what people do. I kind of want the burning snowman. That sounds fun.
No, I don't want that.
And the scrambled eggs.
That's too barbaric. I want the free food and the pretty flower parade.
I want the dolls in the river.
No, that's so weird.
I want all the weird ones. That's so funny. Anyway, stick around. We're going to play a couple of songs now. We are going to kick off with Dark Necessities, which is the newest flagship song from Red Hot Chili Peppers' new album. So enjoy. You're listening to the 3 p.m. Takeover. That was A Head Full of Dreams by Coldplay and Dark Necessities by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Or as I accidentally sung along, Head Full of Stars is not the name of the...
Head Full of Stars.
In my defense, we worked out, I got confused because of the other Coldplay song, A Sky Full of Stars.
That's true.
They need to be much clearer with their song distinction.
That's the thing though, and like I can't say a bad thing because it's my favourite band, but I love
Coldplay.
A lot of their songs, you'll think of them in your mind, then you'll kind of drift into another one. They're all very similar
But
in that
maybe
way.
they do that on purpose.
I think they do because they're one of those bands, even if you don't like them, the second a song starts, you're like, yeah, it's them.
Yeah.
Which is quite a cool thing to have. Like, very, very known.
You may love them or hate them, but you know Coldplay songs.
This is true.
Yeah.
As if you'd hate them though.
Oh, I know people who hate them.
Who even are you if you hate them? That's weird. Everybody likes Coldplay.
I'm sure people think that of things you hate.
No, things that I hate are worth hating.
Okay, hope is apparently the definitive guide to what you can and cannot like.
That's true. But anyway, something happened in the census that I forgot would happen. They took new statistics on relationships in Australia. And I found a list online that's kind of summarised and simplified and taken the interesting bits out of the boring statistics and come up with 12 really interesting facts about relationships in Australia at the moment.
Is this going to make me feel very single?
No, I think some of them will make you feel glad you're single.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm down for that. Give me facts 1 to 12, baby.
And more of them are just kind of things that you wouldn't expect. But anyway,
okay.
we'll take a read through them and we'll have a little bit of a discussion.
I'm excited.
The first one, according to this new data from the ABS, 26% of Australian men are interested in finding a long-term partner, but only 13% of women.
Oh, really?
Isn't that weird?
I would have thought it would be the other way around.
But what's weird is that's not many of either gender that are interested in long-term relationships.
But is that all people who are single, or is that out of all of them? Because if someone's already in a long-term relationship, they're probably not looking for a long-term relationship.
No, this is out of people that are single.
Oh, okay. Oh. And the Tinder generation.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about these youngsters?
That's true. And in people who are over 60, 99% of women and 24% of men do want to find another long-term relationship.
Oh, I don't want to think about old people getting together.
No, I think it's nice. You can have a companion.
I suppose. Old. Yeah, true. That is nice, actually.
It's not like burning love like a 16-year-old. It's like a companion.
I'm sorry, what 16-year-old knows about burning love?
Well, true. I was being a bit overambitious. Okay. Number 2, when it comes to finding someone who's on the same wavelength as you, I guess in terms of personality, men are fussier. So only 16% of women want to find somebody that's like on their wavelength or kind of fits their vibe, whereas 23% of men want to find someone that's like perfectly a fit for them.
That's because men are fussy and picky and they're like children.
Which is weird because I find that it's often women that are like...
This lolly tastes funny. I don't like it. Oh my God, just like, get what you're given and be grateful. Gosh. I'm so cynical.
Just take the person and be grateful.
No, but like they can't expect another person to be exactly how they want them to be. Like you have to take the good with the bad with them, with a person. You don't love someone for their pros and not for their cons.
Nah, but obviously men don't want anyone to have any cons.
We're going to have a relationship with Vice Victoria because I'm clearly super optimistic about all this.
We're going to switch summer focus for relationship focus.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
And you tip every
You guys
week.
can send in your relationship problems and I'm just going to solve them like that.
Number 3, which I think is a tough one. 42% of women still believe men should always pay.
Ooh.
That's nearly half.
Yeah, wow.
It's odd.
What do you think?
I think it depends on the situation. When it's a date, I definitely don't think so. But I was using this example talking to somebody
I think the guy
earlier.
should always offer to pay.
But what I was saying earlier to someone, which was interesting, is if I'm in a business situation and I, as a female worker, meet a male worker, I expect them to pay.
Oh, really?
Yes. I don't know why, I just do.
That's
like if I'm having a
strange.
business meeting with someone and they're male, I expect them to grab the coffee.
Oh. And do they?
Yeah, always.
That's good. Wow.
Which is really, really nice. 69% of people who are single now say they will use internet dating.
Oh.
That's a lot of people.
Have you ever used internet dating?
No, and I know this sounds awful, but I feel like that's like stooping to the very lowest, even though
That's not very nice.
I know, but it's weird because I'm also a big believer in if you can like buy, invest, whatever in every other part of your life, why not in love? Like it should just be the same.
Oh.
But in my mind, I'm like, ugh, dating website.
We have very different reasons for not being on dating websites.
Why don't you want a dating website? Miss Single, tell us.
I know I don't come across well when I like write.
Oh, okay.
I know that people have to like meet me. So I know I'm much funnier in person than I am written.
Well, here we go. You don't do yourself justice on paper. 4 in 10 Australians, so nearly half, are looking for some sort of relationship. But friendship ranks the highest. Most people are looking for more friends than looking for a partner.
That makes me so happy. That is the cutest.
That's kind of cool, isn't it?
That is the cutest statistic ever.
So nearly half of Australians want more friends.
Guys, I'll be your friend. I'm always down for more friends. I love friends.
That is kind of cute though, isn't it?
Aww.
Well, look at this. I'm interested by this one. If you thought that living with someone or cohabitating is the best way to get to know them.
Side note, I hate the word cohabitating.
So do I.
It's such a weird word.
It's fun to use though. You're not in a minority now. 76% of Australian couples cohabit before they get married.
Yeah, that makes sense. Try before you buy.
But I mean, like that's up from 29% 20 years ago.
Oh.
It's really like excelled greatly, and it was only 15% in the 70s.
Wow, that is kind of, does that surprise me? I can't decide if that surprises
It's
me.
rising up with time.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Their average age for the first marriage has gone up from 29 for men and 28 for women, and is now 34 and 32.
Wow, that's quite a jump. I thought it was going to be like a couple of years, not like...
Yeah. It's like I think
5.
that the average age to have your first child is now like 31.
Oh, really?
It's gone up like really significantly.
Wow, we're all just partying too much in our 20s, aren't we?
We are. This one's a little bit exciting. 88% of men and 79% of women say that an active sex life is very important for personal well-being and growth.
Oh, that is...
I don't associate that with personal growth. That's really an unusual combination.
Wow, that's
A lot of people.
Yes, I was going to say that's a big number.
Personal growth, that's strange.
You're really stuck on that, aren't you?
Well, I don't get what that's got to do with my personal growth. I don't know.
I guess you find out more. I don't know. You find out more about yourself. Let's move on. This is a family show.
Well, sometimes. Anyway, so same-sex marriage, obviously there's a big debate at the moment. 25% of women say that 2 women together is not correct, but 36% of men say that 2 men together is not correct. So basically, women are more comfortable with gay men and men are more comfortable with lesbian women than like their own gender.
Oh, how odd.
That's interesting. But when I think about it, I'm the opposite. I feel like I'm the same. Like I feel like I know and am more comfortable around gay men. But maybe that's just I know more gay men. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess it's what you've
Weird.
I guess I don't want to say been exposed to, but like what you're used to, I guess.
Exposed. This is a G-rated show. Okay, last fact. At the end of the day, when you ask an Australian man or woman why they want to get married, 91% of people say for love.
Oh, that's nice. That makes me happy.
How times have changed.
What do you mean?
Well, on the old days, it wasn't about marriage for love, was it?
Oh, true.
That's only like a 20th century.
It was
21st century.
It was like
20th century concept.
to solidify like unions between countries.
Yeah, it was like mostly for financial stability or to have children and stuff. That's really nice. I wonder why the other 9% want to get married.
Tax break.
Tax break. Tax purposes only.
Might be convenient, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Two incomes.
That's terrible. Stay tuned. We have got Suburb Focus coming up right after this.
Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover. We are right near the end of our show. That was Africa by Toto, a classic. I actually cannot not love that song. Like, I don't know if I just used the double negative correctly or not, but I love that song.
No, you did. Doesn't Toto just make you think of Dorothy, though?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, okay. I do love that song, though, and it's just so much fun to sing along to.
It is really nice. Really emotional.
There is that one line where they try and fit in too many syllables and it annoys me, but I look over it for the rest of the song because it's so great. Anyway, guys, if you've checked the clock and you'll know what time it is time for Suburb Focus. Woo! We are slowly making our way down the beaches, and today we are up to Beacon Hill.
Yay, Beacon Hill. I really like Beacon Hill.
Me too. They've got a good McDonald's. We used to go there on lunch breaks.
I was going to say that. They're a great McDonald's there. Great drive-through.
Great for our lunch breaks in high school. We used to go there and see clips of like weird midday movies. Do you remember doing that?
I remember that.
It was great.
There's something really great about getting old enough at school that you can leave campus.
Yeah. Well, really most schools it's like any age, but for ours you had to be year 12. So
at state schools they're not allowed out anymore at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Usually it's year 11 and 12 though, isn't it?
Not at state schools. You can't. No state schools are allowed out anymore. They quit that, which is
McDonald's
a bit of a shame.
will be all out. Anyway, I have some fun facts for you guys about Beacon Hill if you'd like to know.
When did the McDonald's open?
I don't have that fact.
Moving away from that.
I have more facts about like when it was founded and like why it's called Beacon Hill.
All right, tell me the boring ones.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll update you guys on Macca's later on. So Beacon Hill was given its title when the Department of Lands built a trigonometric beacon there in 1881. So it was actually a beacon.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of cool.
I think actually you're like up on that lookout.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Governor Phillip lookout.
That's the one.
That's later on in my notes. Don't skip ahead now. So, the Aboriginal culture in the area, there's actually little known about it, but there are some areas which have Aboriginal carvings, so sort of north of Red Hill, which is still sort of in the Beacon Hill area. And I feel like I've been there a couple of times to look at for school things. There's a few areas with rock carvings, which is really lovely that they've sort of preserved those and they take care of them.
Yeah, it is nice.
European settlement. So a member of the New South Wales Parliament, Daniel Egan, he purchased 40 acres of land in 1857.
Quite a while ago.
Yeah, and the actual houses that are built there weren't really actually built up and created residential until after World War II, so in the 50s and 60s. And
so nearly a 100-year period after it was settled.
So
weird.
I believe it was mostly sort of farmland and sort of agricultural area more than residential. And the reason that a lot of the streets in Beacon Hill are named after like notable battles and military people and Australian troops serving places of World War II is because it was actually built after World War II. So there's...
I never noticed that.
Kokoda Crescent and things like that.
Yeah. Owen Stanley somewhere?
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
And so you did mention the Governor Phillip Lookout, and that is located at the very top of Beacon Hill, and it has that... I think the bottom has that like Governor Phillip bust at the bottom.
Yeah, yep.
People go up there to look on New Year's Eve because you can see the Sydney Harbour fireworks quite clearly.
Really? I never knew that.
Because from the top, you can see almost the entire eastern half of the Sydney region from the top.
That's incredible. It doesn't look that high. That's fascinating.
It's 152 metres above sea level. So you can see, so the entire eastern half of the Sydney region. And you can also see to the west, you can see parts of the Blue Mountains. You can see north to Gosford and Central Coast. And the city skyline, of course.
Wow.
And occasionally you'll see ships and sometimes you'll see whales from up there.
That's
migratory
crazy.
Whales.
Which is a bit depressing. I've never been up there, and I drove past it nearly every day growing up, and I've actually never been up, and I always keep saying to myself I should.
I never have either. The one time I would have gone up, friends, I think it was after New Year's, we all like half of them stayed over. And I couldn't because I had to be somewhere the next day. And the group that did went, like they hiked up in the morning for the sunrise.
Oh, that would have been so cool. I'd have loved to do that.
Yeah. And so that's a little bit about that. And I think Beacon Hill Primary School is very well known. And it was set up So the Europeans that first were given the land, as I was saying before, was 1857. But it wasn't until the first settlers that got there was 1902. And so they sort of actually started up the school for all their kids. And the school itself actually opened in 1887, but it wasn't properly settled with people until 1902. Yes, it's 50 years that have passed in between all this. And then later on, obviously, it grew in number, and it wasn't until about the 30s, it seems, and then they actually got a few more and became a more established school.
Yeah.
And then obviously when all the residential buildings were built in the 50s and 60s, when it really took off and became a proper full-fledged school. So that's really interesting. I can't believe how much time passed between when it was sort of bought and founded and settled and then properly built up. It's insane.
Beacon Hill Public has a really good reputation, and that's because I remember reading that Beacon Hill actually used to have its own high school, Beacon Hill Technological High, which closed, I think, in the early 2000s. And so a lot of the funding that went into that high school was then given to the public primary school, which is now super established and really, really well known.
Oh, wow.
So this suburb did have its own technology high school, but it was closed down.
That's upsetting.
Yes, because when they closed that down, that's when they opened Freshwater Senior Campus, so they faded all the older students off to Freshwater.
Oh, yeah.
And then the school closed.
Of course. Wow. Well, that's a little bit about Beacon Hill for you guys. If you guys have any fun facts that we missed, please let us know. Email us, tweet us, send us a message on Facebook. We'd love to know, because unless we live in that suburb, we've likely missed some really interesting facts about them. So let us know. Yeah, otherwise, we will catch you next week. Have an excellent one. Don't forget to catch the repeat on Friday if you missed anything, or if you just want to hear our fabulous voices again.
And we are looking for suggestions for songs for our next special, which is going to be a birthday special, because we are getting ready to celebrate 1 year of the 3 p.m. Takeover on the airwaves, which is so exciting. And we are going to play a bunch of totally different, non-related music, but just everyone's favourite music. So make sure you get in your requests so that it is an awesome, awesome show.
Yeah, it's going to be, when you go to a party and you request a song, it's going to be like that. It's going to
be just the same.
Yep. Bring your party hats. There'll be cake. Get excited.
Bye.